Hello everyone, welcome back to my vlog. And oh, by the way, I never thought I'm gonna be saying this, but if you're new here in my channel, do consider subscribing and also hitting that notification bell icon on this side of the screen if you want some more regular updates of what my future contents are gonna be about. If you're gonna like the things that we're gonna be discussing here in this video, you can also give it a thumbs up after you watch. So this month we're celebrating Pride Month, not just there in the Philippines but all over the world, and I think it's just proper to greet everyone in the LGBTQIA plus community a happy Pride Month this year. So to all my sisters, to all my bros, to anyone who freely chooses to identify himself, herself, themselves the, in the truest and most authentic way. I am so proud of each one of you for finding your truth and for learning how to embrace it. So in today's video, of course, much of what's going to be discussed here is going to center around Pride Month and how I am personally related to what we're celebrating this month. And I actually prepared some questions to serve as sort of like my outline of how the discussion is gonna flow in this video. I've prepared like 7 questions here, and some of them will require me to personally say a lot about me, and I'm not sure if that's gonna go easy. Okay, first of all, how do I identify myself? I think for a lot of people who have spent a lot of time with me, they do know how comfortable I am in expressing the truth behind my sexuality. And to my students especially, because this is something I'm personally advocating, embracing your truth and being confident and being proud of who you are is something I always have advocated in the discussions I've had in my lectures, in my classroom teaching. So I am gay. It's not new. It's not new to me, of course, and it's also not new to a lot of people that have spent a lot of time with me. I am what you call an effeminate gay. So I am gay, but I'm leaning more towards the feminine spectrum of being gay. And all I know is my heart is very much like a woman. Basically what I feel in my heart is that I'm a girl, or I want to be treated like a girl or like a woman. So but I still consider myself as gay on the more feminine spectrum, or end of the spectrum. Okay, so I hope that's clear to everyone. My next question is, when did I first discover I am gay? And how did I know about it? I was very sure that I first discovered, or I first felt good about being feminine was when my siblings dressed me up with a skirt. It's not really a skirt, but it's a dress, when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And I remember feeling so good about it. And I remember going out, going to the what's the sari sari store, just a few blocks, oh no, just a few steps away from our house, and not feeling ashamed of knowing that I'm a boy, but I'm wearing a dress. And it felt good. So that was the first time I knew I had that in me since the beginning. How did I know about it? It's a feeling. It's the feeling. We'll always have the confirmation with how it feels. I can't quite describe it. But then another huge instance in my young self of discovering my sexuality was when I had a crush on my grade 1 classmate. Not gonna say his name because we're friends on Facebook, but he was the top one of our class, and I normally sit next to him on the first row. You know, he's really smart and he's really cute, and I remember writing his name on my notebook, and I remember always being excited about waking up in the morning and wanting to see him, or wanting him to be the first person that I'd see at school. So that's when I knew I don't like girls and I like boys. Yeah. Next question. What was my family's reaction to it? This is a tough question to answer, to be honest, because my sexuality is something that I've never really openly discussed with my family. And just to give you a background of what my family is like, I grew up in a household of 6 siblings, including myself, with 4 brothers and 1 sister. So you can just imagine how difficult it is to kind of like act differently. That's completely opposite to the male bravado that my 4 other brothers have. And there are specific not really fresh, but specific incidents of my young self where my brothers and my dad sort of found little clues of my sexuality. I remember one of my brothers was so angry at me because he saw a list of boy crushes I have in my notebook. It's embarrassing, I know. And he was so angry about it. He was so angry about it. And I also remember my dad finding out that I actually brought a boyfriend in our house for one of our overnight thesis working days back in our last year in college. My dad was very upset about it, and I got beaten up pretty bad. And I remember crying about it. Right now, since I have been living alone and all by myself, I think that it's not an issue to them anymore, but we've never really had like a heart-to-heart talk about it, where I go and officially come out to my family and kind of like see a positive or a warm reception about it. I never really had that, but I wish I did have it, because it would have been a lot more reaffirming to actually see the acceptance coming from the people that's supposed to support you the most. Next question is, have I been accepted by them? I think that's something I have already answered. Yeah. Question number 5. This is a very important question. Why is it important for me to be open about my sexuality? Okay, how do I even begin answering this question? There was a long period of how I lived my life where I thought that my sexuality is my business, or my gender identity or my preference is my business, and it's not something I need to openly discuss with or to people. It's not something that people needs to have a business with. But then, since I became a teacher 5 years ago and saw that there is a need for representation, a need for a figure, a visible figure for the LGBTQIA plus youth to see and be inspired with and get power from. That's really what triggered me to be open about my story and be and be public about my sexuality to my students, my coworkers, my co-teachers, and of course to friends. I'm not saying that I am that figure. I hope I'm not coming off as if, oh, I want to do this, I want to share my story because I want to be a role model. No, 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 no. I've always been consistent about saying that I do not think that I am the best role model for my students. I do think that I can be a good example to certain aspects of how I deal with things, but as a whole, I'm far from being the ideal role model or best example that young people should look up to and aspire to be someday. No, no, no. That's far from how I'm gonna be, and that's not what I want to be. I love my imperfections, and I love learning from making mistakes every once in a while and really learning hard from it. I need to be visible. I need to be that figure that my students to see, because I feel like if they see people who own their power, who embrace their truth, that's something that's gonna give them comfort and strength in and help them to get into better terms as far as accepting the truth of who they are. And question number 6, what do I want to say to the LGBTQIA plus youth community? Be brave. I want to start off with that. Be brave. It's not a sin to be brave. It's not immoral to be brave. So be brave. And know that there would be a lot of people that's gonna try to invalidate you, that's gonna try to test your patience and do your different kinds of wrongs. But do know that there are special people that you will meet along the way that's gonna be your allies, that's gonna be among those things that you will draw your strength from, that will be wonderful sources of strength and inner power for you. So trust it. Trust that there will be people that you'll meet along the way that's gonna vibe well with you, that's gonna love you for who you are, and that's gonna be a friend for life. Right now you may be feeling you're alone, and I've been there, but that feeling of loneliness is temporary. Someday it's gonna get a lot happier because you'll be surrounded with more accepting people, and you'll feel more validated because you're surrounded by those kinds of people. So just keep working on improving yourself, and keep creating networks so you can, of course, meet and get to know those kinds of people that's gonna add up to the positivity that you need to be surrounded with. Okay, what's my next question? Oh, what I want to say or ask my fellow Filipinos about us. This is very difficult to actually ask or say, but I hope you continue to give us a safe space where we can freely exist. And when I say a safe space, it's not a literal safe space, but a safe space where we can own up, our sexuality and be free about it. Where a safe space where we're not going to be stopped from wanting the most authentic version of ourselves to be in the forefront of everything we do, for as long as we're not hurting anyone, or we're not going beyond the borders of what might affect or what might negatively affect anyone. I hope that you will continue to create safe spaces of discussion, to listen to us. I also hope that people would read more. I get annoyed sometimes whenever I hear people say, um, bakit daw maraming bakla? Why are there so many gay people and they're not even reproducing? Or bakit daw maraming bakla? Eh, hindi naman daw sila nanganganak. I take offense in hearing those kind of ignorant remarks, especially at the time we're in right now. It's 2021 and there have been a lot of published research and scientific studies about homosexuality as a whole. So I ask people to read. You know, it's gonna let you understand more of what you don't understand. It's gonna break down the walls of resistance, you know, from people who who refuse to understand because they don't have the information. So please read up. Do us a favor and read about us, and do yourselves a favor, because it's gonna liberate you from your judgments, from your prejudice. So pakiusap, magbasa po tayo. Okay. Okay, I don't know, maybe I've spoken for half an hour already, but that's about it for what I want to discuss here. And yeah, I feel better. I feel better saying all of those things. Yeah. So once again, to everyone in my community, happy Pride Month. And there's still a lot to fight for. There's still a lot to voice out. There's still a lot of education to promote as far as who we are, what we are, and what we need are concerned. But let's continue fighting and let's not get tired just because we think the numbers are against us. Someday, everything will fall into its proper place and things will be in our favor. Salamat sa pakikinig, and I'm really glad I get to spend another time vlogging about how I feel here in my channel. So I'll see you guys again next time, and stay safe, everyone. Bye bye.